Not an ideal Saturday for some in the Virginia Highland neighborhood, as they came out to find their car windows looking like this. Among those cleaning and picking up the pieces was Johanna Wazir.
I got the buzz on my phone, the notification from the apartment building, and I had just this feeling like, yep, it has to be mine, like absolutely.
She came home and found shattered glass all around the inside and outside of her car. She didn't have anything valuable in there, but that didn't stop thieves from rummaging around.
I just imagine they must have been frustrated, like, well, this isn't worth anything, this isn't worth anything. But they were really thorough in pulling out every single paper of my console.
Wazir was shocked to hear her car was just one of more than 30 that were broken into early Saturday morning. Atlanta police say when they got to the scene around 3:20 a.m., the suspects were still breaking into cars.
Officers heard the sound of glass break to one of the vehicles and actually observed 3 suspects as they were entering different vehicles in the parking deck.
Police arrested 20-year-old Joshua Winder, but the 2 other suspects are still on the run. Wazir says she believes others know better than to leave valuables inside their car, so she doesn't understand why these criminals would bother causing a mess like this.
It can't be that worth it. I think people are so aware now about what they leave in their cars. I think in Virginia Highlands, you hear about it all the time, really. And so people are much more aware, which is great, but it did not deter these guys.
You can find scooters on almost every corner in Atlanta. But the city of Atlanta may crack down on scooter companies and riders.
Oh man, I literally had to jump out the way, especially here on Peak Mountain. You have to move because they're not going to move out your way. They will run you literally over. It's all over at the train stations, on the train. It's crazy.
The city will vote Monday. Some of the biggest changes you could see if the measure passes: no more scooters riding or parking on sidewalks.
It actually keeps you on time for work, so you can be able to make it work on time. So I think that they need to keep these scooters where they're at, on the side of the sidewalk or the side of any place that we need.
You have people with disabilities going down the sidewalk. They're not going to be able to move a scooter out of the way, so there is a need to regulate that kind of stuff.
Riders would also be regulated to 1 rider per scooter.
If one of us doesn't have the app, the other person does, and you can only have 1 scooter per app. So a lot of my friends, we just hop on together, and excluding that would just honestly take away the benefit of the scooter altogether.
And scooter companies would have to find a way for users without a smartphone or credit card to be able to scooter.
If they expanded to that population, those amount of people, it's just going to grow to an even bigger variety of students, people.
That's just the way we operate now. Maybe they could go to gift cards or prepaid cards or something like that, but that's the way it operates, and that's going to be a challenge for the business.
Riders say they're not too worried about the proposed regulations. They know the scooters are here to stay.
We need different choices of transportation in Atlanta, period, and this is just one of them.
I love every Sunday that I come, every Sunday, without a doubt.
We drove an hour to get here just because that's how overwhelmed we were that somebody's doing something like this where we can connect to.
It is our job to still worship. It's our job to still give God praise. That's the only way out of this to me, is to worship.
God says, yes, I'm taking you through a famine, so when I send the rain, you'll have appreciation for it, and you'll understand that there's a lack, so I can fulfill the need and be blessed, and you can be blessed. Hope y'all understand that.
I know that there's a need for getting out without getting out. So we're here to provide a way that's safe, yet still, allows them to get out.
Even though your circumstances say you should be afraid, you're not afraid because you're not your circumstance. So I'm trying to help somebody.
It has been our desire to stay open that has really opened up the hearts of our community and beyond.
Nobody can fathom having church in the parking lot, but you best believe you're going to see some churches having church in the parking lot.
As long as we can, we're going to. As long as there's will, there's a way. And we're going to look to our will and our faith to make a way out of no way.
Unless it's lightning and striking us, then yes, we're going to be here.
Sometimes we need storms to bring rain for the seeds we've sown so that we can get out of it and have more harvest. We respect everything that our government officials have stated for us to do, and we honor social distancing, and we still give God praise.
This is what is left of the family's house. As you can see, I'm standing in their house and there are no walls, no furniture, nothing is standing. You can see debris just scattered about. Now, the family said they did have some time to come through and sort through the things here, but most of all of this, they say, is a lost cause. Well, hi there. We're about 30 minutes into curfew right now, and let me tell you, this is the calmest scene we've seen yet. This is day 6 of protest, and I want to show you the scene right here. This is a line of National Guard troops, and tonight they're very relaxed because right after curfew hit, they were able to find some of the people who were refusing to leave, and Atlanta police walked toward them and arrested them. We're not sure on how many people have been arrested, but I also want to show you, the scene right now may be very different than what we've seen the other nights, but the night played out exactly the same way. It's a very peaceful protest up until about 15-20 minutes until curfew hits, and that's when sometimes the protesters get a little rowdy. They sometimes are throwing things like water bottles, firecrackers.
Natalie, let me show you what we're experiencing right now. You can probably hear the wind just howling around us in this building where we still have some pretty powerful gusts, as you can kind of see behind me. We're going to walk you around from our bird's eye view on this parking deck here as best we can, but again, we're battling a very powerful wind at this point. If you look out here, we have two of the beachfront condo complexes, and you can see just an incredible churning surf. If the surf is hard to see, it's because we have so much rain in between our camera and even the ocean, which is not that far, the bay, which is not that far from us here. But we just have just an unreal looking, very angry surf right now.
There are a lot of moving parts to this story, but it boils down to two things: the CDC's ban as well as paperwork.
We lost our dog recently, and we were ready. We grieved and we were ready to open our hearts again.
It was supposed to be the start of a new chapter for Coleman Nation and his wife.
She saw the post on Twitter, someone looking for a home for a dog in Iraq, and my wife was like, that's our dog.
A one-eyed dog named Grace, rescued from abuse off the streets of northern Iraq. As Grace traveled to the U.S., Nation drove from North Carolina to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport on Tuesday to pick up the newest member of their family. But things didn't go according to plan.
It's been 3 days of just ups and downs. It's a little numb.
Grace got in at 4 p.m. on July 13th, just a day before the CDC's ban on dogs from countries at high risk for rabies. But Nation says the paperwork Grace needed to enter the U.S. wasn't handed over in time, meaning they now needed to provide a CDC permit.
The Georgia Environmental Protection Division says the system was shut down after their testing vendor detected and stopped a malware attack. The outage is affecting the transmission of information to and from inspection stations in 8 states.
This is like being laid off. And we still got to pay the power bill. You still got to pay for your machine.
Derek Grayson manages his mother's business. It sits on the same lot as his auto sales and U-Haul rental company on Memorial Drive in Southeast Atlanta.
We're locked out. And we can't do anything. They can't make any money. So we closed.
Colonies of bees have set up in her home not once, but 3 times.
I think we're going to have to burn the house down because this is the 3rd time that Bobby has come out and removed bees, and they just keep coming back to a little bit different spot.
Bobby Chason is a bee removal expert with Georgia Bee Removal.
Well, there's probably a good 100,000 bees in this one. It's a pretty good sized colony that was living in the house.
Even for someone who spends his days relocating these insects, a hive this size is not your everyday find.
And they were about 4.5, 5 feet long, and then the full width of the floor joist, so about 18 inches wide and 12 or 15 inches deep. So it was a lot of space that they were in. They were doing quite well.
Believe it or not, this one is actually a little bit smaller than the first hive found back 4 years ago. Chason says the bees picking this spot is really by chance.
It's horrifying because we didn't come here with the intent on being homeless.
This has been home for Sydney Dunson, her fiance Frederick Campbell, and their 3 kids who are 10, 5, and 7 months old.
We don't have any more money to get another place to stay because now, since we're in our car, we have to put it in with gas. the kids have to eat.
This was not how the family's new life in Atlanta was supposed to begin. They made the more than 700-mile trip from Detroit to Atlanta for Campbell's new job. The couple paid $2,600 to stay at an Airbnb in DeKalb County for a month. But just a day after settling in, this was posted on their door.
We asked him about the eviction notice, and he said, well, that's been taken care of. You know what I mean? Y'all don't have to worry. It's okay that you guys stay there. Okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? We would like to see proof to make sure that our state is secure after paying $2,600 to stay somewhere.
Tons of garbage. And it's been looking at that for like 2 months almost.
An unsightly and a smelly situation unfolding at the Preserve at Collier Ridge apartment complex in Fulton County.
It wasn't always like this, like it was mostly clean most of the time, but like right around the time for the holidays is when they just like stop picking up trash, which absolutely makes no sense because you get more trash during the holidays.
For Frank Anavitarte and his son, Frederick Fulton, these overflowing dumpsters are the first things they see and smell when they open their door.
The way they do the maintenance here is horrible. You know, they claim that the other management is their fault.
I think the Braves need this game. We're a young team. We've had problems out of the Cardinals in the past. So again, last night was just a typical example about how young a young team plays.
Pitcher spot due next, and Jack Flaherty. Here comes Fulton-Evans, and a swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball.
So far, it's been amazing.
Yeah, pitching's been off the charts. Flaherty's just been amazing tonight. Absolutely amazing.
No missteps, no errors. So I think they're doing exactly what expected of them.
The third game's at the Cardinals, so home field advantage. We've got to win second game.
Oh, it's McCann takes off, and Duvall in the air, center field. That is back. Bader at the wall, and she's gone. Adam Duvall. And the Braves win game 2.
We proved that we're a little bit better, and I think we're going to do well.
It was awesome, better than last night. We won. I feel like we hit better. Our pitching was amazing. Pulte was awesome.
We played as a team. We got it done. We did what we had to do.
Last time the Atlanta Braves advanced out of a series was 0-1. They get a shutout for the first time since. 3-0 our final score. The Braves win it.